In the name of God, the Merciful, the Beneficent.
Among many of my friends, some I have met before I became Prime Minister, just over 4 months ago, not 5 months ago. And I'm looking forward to meet others in the future. Since I became Prime Minister, I had this opportunity to meet with many of you here. We have in Iraq now an armed conflict which is threatening our families, our communities, and everything we hold dear. As recent events make clear to everybody, terrorism imperils world, whatever our religion, our region, our race. The Iraqi people are on the front lines of fighting against the best funded, best organized, unfortunately, but they are terrorists. Today, I have been asked to present a vision for Iraq. My vision includes a coordinated military, political, and economical strategy to defeat Daesh, and we can do it. And I also envision an international effort to rebuild Iraq and reconcile our region so that out of our own struggle and suffering, we will triumph over terrorism with economic development and social inclusion. For Iraq, this is a very important time to ask hard questions and make difficult decisions, not only to defeat Daesh, but to build and unite the country with a functioning democracy that upholds the rule of law and streamlined government, decentralized decision-making, and a prosperous economy that offers opportunities for all our people. As a Prime Minister, I'm pursuing a strategy of interdependence instead of state domination, with government commanding the economy and Baghdad dominating the government. The public and private sector, and the central government and the provinces will work together in partnership. For all our challenges, Iraq still brings great strength to building our future. Our economic fundamentals are strong, one of the world's largest reserves of oil, an educated population, and a rapid growth of economy. Once our current security challenges are overcome, we will fulfill our potential as a business and investment partner. Iraq is an ancient civilization, but a young democracy. Iraq has had a succession of free elections. Last year, in the midst of extremist violence, we managed a peaceful political transition of power, in which elected leaders stepped down to make way for new leadership. Over little more than 100 days, our new government has begun to restructure and reform our armed forces, build better relations with the Kurdish region, work with local tribes to defeat Daesh, reform and decentralize the central government, advance social welfare and individual freedoms, and promote economic reforms and development. We have strengthened relations with our neighbors and coordinated our counter-Daesh with our coalition allies. Only 6 months ago, Daesh was threatening Baghdad, and our future was uncertain. Today, with the support of our friends and our neighbors, with the coalition partners, the world has rallied to Iraq. Daesh momentum has been halted. In actual fact, it has been reversed, and Iraq are retaking our country back. Despite our economic challenges, the Iraqi people feel an extreme sense of urgency, and the government of Iraq feel responsible to liberate every inch of our territory and every segment of our citizenry from Daesh. As I said yesterday at Security Conference in London, when we ask the world community for more support or faster assistance, our determination does not reflect disappointment with the coalition of countries supporting Iraq, but rather the reality that human lives are at stake, and we must act as rapidly and as resolutely as we can. I know that the Iraqi people who are now occupied by Daesh must take the lead in this fight and in liberating their areas. And our government is doing our part to make this possible. When our new government took office in September, we promised to pursue national reconciliation, military and governmental reform, economic and social reconstruction, and regional outreach. We are moving forward on every front. We are also restoring relationship with the Sunni tribes that are based in areas now dominated by Daesh. I have met personally with representatives from provinces of Anbar, Salahuddin, and Mosul, reinforcing air support, increasing arms supplies, and providing for food deliveries. Now, many of these tribes are fighting alongside and not against the Iraqi security forces. We will never win on the battlefront if we are crippled by corruption on the home front. We are fighting corruption and incompetency in civil and military institutions. We have removed about 24 generals, as well as 24 senior officers of the Ministry of Interior and the Ministry of Defense. Our government will spare no effort to ensure that there will be no more ghost soldiers on the payroll, no more corrupt commanding officers, no more battalions fleeing from the battlefields, and no more corrupt civilians enriching themselves while our soldiers are sacrificing their lives. In order to reinforce the rule of law and protect personal freedom, I have issued an executive order to speed up the release of detainees who have not been charged and establish a central record or registry of those who have been imprisoned. I have